Welcome to Coadep Econs Academy. Today we're going to analyze the effects of increase in demand in the market. Before we start our discussion, let's review core points on increase in demand. When we talk about increase in demand, we are talking about the willingness and ability of the consumer to buy more quantities of a given commodity while the commodity's price remains constant over a given period of time. When we go to the graph, there will be a bodily shift of the demand curve to the right. So price is constant and the demand curve shifts to the right. That signifies an increase in demand. What are the possible causes of increase in demand? Increase in demand can result from increase in price of substitutes, which make the commodity relatively cheaper and therefore attracts more buyers or increased volumes of purchase. Again, a fall in price of complements will also cause increase in demand. When the commodity in question has the price of its complements fallen, that means more of the complementary goods are going to be bought. And because the complementary goods will be used together with the commodity in question, it will induce increased demand for the commodity in question. Again, we can talk about increase in income of consumers of normal goods. When a good is normal and the income of its consumers increase, they will buy more of the commodity. When we have shift in taste and preference in favor of the good, that means consumers are now developing taste for the commodity in question, and because of the taste that they have developed for the commodity, they are going to buy more of the commodity at the same price level. When we have increase in number of buyers, it could result from increase in population, whether through natural means or through immigration. Then we are going to have more of the commodity being bought, and that will also result in increase in demand. We also talk about expectation of future increase in price of the commodity. When consumers anticipate that the price of a commodity can increase, then there's a likelihood that they will buy more today to make savings in the future. That will cause increase in demand. And also increase in advertising. We know the power of advertising. So when we increase the intensity of advertising, it is going to increase the demand for a commodity. Now that we are done with the review, we are going to move to the question of the day, where we're going to analyze effects of increase in demand. And we're going to do it with the aid of a diagram. What we can say is that the discussion we are going to have on this diagram can be written down as the essay to answer the question posed for this lesson. In this diagram, price is on the vertical axis and quantity is on the horizontal axis. The demand curve is DODO and the supply curve is SOSO. The forces of demand and supply interact to produce equilibrium at point A1, where the equilibrium price is OPO and the equilibrium quantity is OQO. With an increase in demand, the demand curve will shift rightward to D1. On this new demand curve and at the existing price level, quantity demanded will now be at OD, whereas quantity supplied remains at OQO. This creates a shortage or excess demand whose magnitude is QOD in the market. The presence of the excess demand or shortage will call for increase in production. However, because the supply curve is upward sloping, producers are facing rising marginal cost. This means that whenever producers supply more of a commodity, their cost of production increases per head. And for them to be able to maintain their profit margin, they need to increase price. Therefore, to close up the excess demand, producers will increase supply along the supply curve above point A1, and that means that they will supply more and increase price of the commodity in the market. But any increase in price beyond PO that results from increase in supply will also cause buyers to cut down their demand along D1 above point A2. This is because any increase in price will reduce the purchasing power of the consumer, and it will also make the commodity relatively expensive. So as this process of adjustment goes on, by supplying more and increasing price, whereas demand also shrinks along D1, we finally arrive at point A3, where a new equilibrium is established. At point A3, the new equilibrium price will be OP1, and the new equilibrium quantity will be OK1. When this is compared to the equilibrium at point A1, we see that price increases from PO to P1. Quantity also increases from QO to Q1. Therefore, with an increase in demand, there will be increase in price and increase in quantity of the commodity in the market. This analysis holds whenever we are given any factor that directly results in increase in demand. So whenever we are given a situation, a factor to analyze its effect on price and quantity of a commodity, and we know that the factor is responsible for increase in demand, then our analysis should be along this discussion. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share to promote our channel.